My team and I have used over 9,000 NLP keywords in our content in the last 12 months, and I want to show you a very easy way to use NLP for SEO. And so if you don't know the big difference between NLP and LSI, is NLP is kind of like trying to understand the context of the primary keyword, whereas LSI is like trying to understand terms related to the keyword. So let me explain quickly. So if we're talking about the word apple, like, are we talking about the fruit or are we talking about the company, right? And so NLP tries to understand that difference, like how to fix my Apple MacBook is likely talking about the company, whereas Apple recipes for fall desserts is likely talking about the fruit, right? Whereas the old way with LSI, which is still used, is basically when the word apple is used, if it is used alongside these kind of words, then we know it's talking about the company normally, right? Whereas vice versa, if it's got these words associated with it, it's probably talking about the fruit. And so search engines still use these, but it's moving towards NLP. And so we want to find a tool that's very easy to use that we can basically know what keywords to inject into our content, so that's super easy. I use what's called NeuronWriter, but you can use like SurferSEO, or there should be a bunch of other tools out there. I use this one with my team because basically it uses a combination of NLP keywords, as you can see, and it also uses LSI keywords, right? And it basically tries to attempt to understand the top ranking competitors for that keyword and understand what words they are using and why are they ranking in the top 3? Why has Google already decided that they should be in the top 3? Well, it's likely because of the content they're using, right? And the NLP and LSI keywords. So I'm going to open up an example for you. I've typed in already law firm Melbourne, and I've went to the second page and I selected a random one, this one here. And what I found is it's already ranking on the 18th position. So it's on the second page. And I basically want to find out why. And can we rank this one into the top 3? And so basically we open up a test. Basically you add a new query here. You put in the keyword like law firm Melbourne. And you might just make sure that you type in Australia because you're trying to rank in the city of Melbourne. So you want to go a step further and type in Melbourne. And what this will do is it will use a filter so that it changes the IP address so that it can deliberately find the top 3 ranking or top 10 or top 20 ranking search results in the city of Melbourne. So it's not just doing it Australia-wide. That's very, very important that you use the city level so that you're getting very granular. Okay, and then you click start. Now you can go in here and then identify top competitors who you think are top competitors already or additional keywords to use, but I don't usually use that at all. Now I've already done this, so I'm going to skip ahead and I've already gone to the next step, which is, well, the next step after this is choosing the top competitors that you want to model off. And I've chosen the top 10 by default. Okay, but you can select the top 30 or do a custom selection. It's totally up to you. And basically what this will do is it will come up with a list of keywords that the top 10 results in Melbourne on the first page have on their pages, all the competitors. And so it's identified that these are kind of like basic LSI keywords that are found. And here's a combination of LSI and NLP keywords that are found on all those pages. So what I've done already is I have copied all of this content and I want to paste it in here to make sure that I can see where my content like relates in terms of scoring. So right now it's 47. And just take this with a grain of salt as well. This is just one of the SEO metrics. Just because you get a high score here doesn't mean you're going to rank in the top 3 anytime soon. You still need quality backlinks. You still need to make sure it's a fast page and it's matching the intent. Okay. Now, with all that said, if you're doing all of that right, then this step with NLP and LSI keywords will help you out a lot. Okay. So what we'll do, we see we're ranking 47. We can get up to 71. So the highest of all competitors is ranked 71, and they've probably got a lot of content, too much content. Whereas the top 1 rank is, their score is 42. And so you might be thinking, well, we don't have to do too much. We don't, like, we're already being top 1. But we might want to give the search engine more context and material so that it will, you know, hopefully rank us higher and give it more content. Because this is what we call a thin page. It doesn't have a lot of content on it. So what we might do, right, is you can do it manually. You can go through the copy and you can be like, okay, well, I want to, you know, type offices in Melbourne. So offices in Melbourne and Sydney, or you can just literally copy it. You can just copy to clipboard and paste it in. But after you like enter that in, it's going to highlight, and then that might affect your score. So it has affected my score, which is really cool. So the next step from here, when you get faster and faster at this and have better quality content, you might want to use ChatGPT and then copy the entire list of terms and then copy your content. And basically copy your content for ChatGPT. We'll do it now. We'll do it a live session together. So I might open ChatGPT, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell ChatGPT to read the content and don't respond. Can you read the content in its entirety, but do not respond at all yet? I just want you to read and acknowledge. So it's read everything, and now what I want to do is go back over to NeuronWriter, and maybe I want to copy some of these other keywords here to inject into the content and tell ChatGPT to add it into content or write new content naturally. Now, this is not what we do. We use proper sections like problem, agitate, solution sections and things like that throughout our content, but it's a similar process. We inject it into different pieces of content strategically. So I've added the content here and given it special instructions to make sure that, you know, it's adding it in a natural way. Again, this isn't how I would normally do it, but I just want to speed up the process to show you what it can do using something like ChatGPT. Okay, so I haven't read through this content, but I just want to show you for the argument's sake, I'm going to copy all of this in and see what the score is. Okay, so just copying that content over, what we can see is that the score has gone up to 56. We have seen that there is a use of almost all the keywords. There's overuse of some keywords, so we'll have to take those out. The ones in red, but we can see a lot of the keywords are injected by ChatGPT. Now, this is one way of doing it. I don't recommend doing it this way verbatim. Obviously, you'd have to check the content, making sure that it's refined, making sure that it's following the use case of the person visiting and covers their emotional needs and, you know, the problems they're going through. But that's how you use NLP keywords for SEO. So I hope this was super helpful. You can do this in many different ways, of course, but this is just one super easy way so that you don't have to manually go and find NLP keywords yourself. You can just get a tool like this or SurferSEO to help you out. So if you've got any questions or comments, leave them below. I'm happy to answer them, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.